Nigeria Diaspora Television is at the Melrose Arch, the venue at the Melrose Arch, where we are covering the events around education. Has been put together by the Africa Presidential Leadership Center in Melrose Arch. And we have seen speeches made by the President of Rwanda, President of Zambia, the former President of Ghana, the former President of Nigeria, Goodluck Jonathan, the former President of Mauritius, and also the former President of Tanzania, Jakaya Kikwete. President Jonathan gave a lot of insights about what he did with regards to education, tertiary education, the amnesty program, and also his passion for education was revealed this evening. We're very excited about being able to see President Jonathan, or rather former President Jonathan, talk about education and what he was able to do when he was in office from 2010 to 2015. Nigeria Diaspora Television from the venue at Melrose Arch in Johannesburg, South Africa.
We need to segment education. The mainstream education is there and we must continue to encourage it. But beside that, how do we create brains that can revolutionize Africa? How do we? And if I look at the inventors, generally globally, most of the inventors don't even have university degrees. Bill Gates doesn't have even a university degree before invented Microsoft. Most of them have university degrees, but they don't have PhD or even higher degrees. So my feeling is that the basic education, which I agree with the President of Ghana, we must restructure it. We're no longer going to train people who are interpreters, who will write curve and good writing and good English alone. But we must also produce technical people, and I'll come to that later. But beside that, my thinking is that in our countries, I started something at a little level when I was the governor of my state, then at least amplified it a little when I was the president of Nigeria. I'll just explain to you, is that if we must change Africa, if we must follow the rest of the world to think about using artificial intelligence to solve our problems, if we must create the human beings, then we must educate some categories of people. God is a bit not too kind to all of us because the distribution of brain is not uniform. So in that case, for us to develop, as nations, we must have a way of sorting out some of our best brains and encourage them. Those few ones can change society. Those few ones can launch Africa into the technological revolution that is going around the world, just like President Mahama said. That if you look at, not the last 50 years, you're talking about the last 25 years, the IT revolution is growing at a dramatic progression in multiples, while the African educational system is advancing in arithmetic means, and the rest of the world is moving faster. How do we make them? When I was the governor of my state, just about 1.5 years, I said the first thing I have to do is to select some very brainy boys and girls, very young at primary school level, and send them to the best private schools, because the private schools are better in most of the countries, including Nigeria. Outside my state, none of them was in my state. And I wanted to do that every year so that we have a crop of young people with brains that can begin to think about how do we change the society. And my thinking is that after they graduate from the post-primary school, I was going to send them to the best universities in the world. So that over the years, in addition to encouraging others who can move slowly like Jonathan moves slowly, we get people who can revolutionize the world. When I became president of the country, I launched what I call PRESID, Presidential Special Scholarship for Innovation and Development. I said that every year we must get all Nigerians that made first class from all the universities in the country and the world. From among the first class in the technical disciplines, we'll select some, maybe 150 to 200 every year, and send them to the top universities. And let us do that. We have a nuclear program. We have a satellite program, but we've not moved anywhere. I believe we have not developed the kind of brains we need. for that. You cannot just think about going to the moon. It takes brains.
I want to check from His Excellency Goodluck, Jonathan. How did you preserve the quality of education in Nigeria? Because what we are seeing in South Africa is that the quality is deteriorating year in and year out. If the percentage was 50, it's been decreased next year to 40, it's been decreased in the other year to 30. So how can we make sure that we improve that quality of education? Because for me, there's no use of saying, let million kids pass, but the quality is still poor, because we are not going to yield the expected results. So if you can give us some highlights on that one.
If Africa must progress, then our best brains must go to education. If you look at the percentage of best brains that go to education in different countries, countries like Sweden, these highly developed countries, out of the 10 best brains, 6 will be teachers at different levels. A place like US, out of 10 best brains, 4 will be teachers. If you come to Africa, the 10 best brains will never go to teach. So that is the beginning. Government, private sector, and individuals must be committed to make sure that our best brains are enticed in one way or the other to go to the teaching. But for the young people, yes, we'll be raising all kinds of issues, but African young brains are doing fantastically well. And we have hope. Don't lose hope. I thank you.
Thank you very, very much indeed, President.